Mr. Team, I'm sorry. Mr. Rothman has been a generous patron this evening.
Generous patron? Scoffed Tony. Well, what are you waiting for? I asked you to keep him out. If you don't, I'll find another head of security.
Evan didn't move. He didn't want to upset either Chase or Tony and was concerned with the repercussions of supporting either party. He pressed Tony one more time. Mr. Deem, this gentleman has 100 parked in the parking lot. I think kicking him out would be a big mistake.
Tony began to laugh as if he had heard the funniest joke in the world.
Him? He replied to Evan. You think I don't know who he is? He's barely able to scrap together a medical bill. Tony pushed away the thought that the cars could belong to Chase. He'd known Chase for years. It just was impossible.
Hurry up and get them off the premises, barked at Evan.
Just then, Tony saw Chase pick up his phone and made a call. Tim, said Chase. How much will it cost for me to buy the Smith Restaurant Group? If Tony had thought Chase was a fool at first, he now thought Chase was perhaps mentally unstable. How could Chase even think he could buy the group? Chase, laughed Tony. Are you out of your mind? If you're not feeling well, then let's get you to a hospital. If you have a stroke, who's going to support Celia? Buying the Smith Restaurant Group. He laughed to himself. Ignoring Tony, Chase continued to talk to Tim about the purchase. Tim continued. There are about 130 restaurants under the company's banner. The estimated total value is somewhere in the range of $600 million. How fast can you make it happen? Chase didn't really care how much it was worth. Not long, Tim replied in a relaxed manner. I could get it done in 10 minutes. Buy it then, said Chase. He put down his phone and locked eyes with Tony, daring him to go further. Tony chuckled. Chase really had lost his mind if he thought he could buy the Smith Restaurant Group. Are you crazy or are you... Tony asked. Chase ignored him. He leaned against the wall and waited for Tim to call him back with confirmation of the sale. Sure enough, within minutes, Chase's phone rang, and Tim's voice came blaring through the speaker. Mr. Rothman, we just spoke with most of the shareholders and set forward your proposal. They have all agreed and you are now the majority shareholder. Very good, said Chase. I have one more request. I'd like to meet with the owner of City Grill right away. No problem, replied Tim. Chase hung up the phone. As Tony overheard Chase on the phone, he grew increasingly more irate. He thought to himself, does Chase really think the owner of City Grill is just going to drop everything and rush over here? For him? Chase, he finally chortled. I really do think we should get you a doctor. No way the owner of City Grill is going to come down here. I'm so sure of that fact that if he does, I'll personally refund your entire meal here this evening. Though I know it's not much. Tony grew more assured as he said it. City Grill was an elite establishment well known in Laudervale and the entire nation. Last year alone, he estimated that the restaurant had brought in close to $20 billion. Chase was out of his mind if he thought he could own City Grill, let alone the entire Smith Restaurant Group. Chase listened on with disinterest and pity. He knew that Tony would shortly come to regret his gamble of confidence. He had no need to carry on with this conversation. Instead, Chase picked up his cell phone and made a quick video call to Eliza, who passed over the phone to Dottie. He spent the next 5 precious moments making faces at his daughter, forgetting altogether the tension-filled minutes that came before. Meanwhile, Mike Reyes, the owner of City Grill, was flirting with the bartender at the Golden Palms Hotel when he received a call from Tim, instructing him to make his way to City Grill on the double. There was a gentleman there named Mr. Rothman who needed his assistance,
Mike downed his old-fashioned in one swig, gave one last wink to the bartender, and made his way toward the exit. He knew that when Tim called, you answered. About 10 minutes later, Mike's pulled up in front of the entrance to the restaurant. He stepped out of the car and walked quickly toward the front doors. The situation was worse than he expected. It appeared that his security team had surrounded and was confronting a group of around a dozen people loitering in the restaurant's entryway. Things didn't look good. First things first, Mike needed to figure out what was going on. He made a beeline for Tony. "What's going on here?" Tony began to worry. Had Chase really called Mike? He wasn't prepared to lose face. He also didn't have $20,000 to spare despite his earlier boasting. Mike cleared his throat and repeated himself. "Tony, what's going on here?" Tony snapped out of his thoughts. It seemed from Mike's tone that he really didn't know what was going on. Maybe this was a coincidence after all. "It's fine, boss," Tony replied. "It's just an idiot and his drunk friends causing trouble. It's not a concern. The guy's so out of it he's rambling on about buying the Smith Restaurant Group." Tony laughed. "I'll deal with it." "Where?" snapped Mike. "Where's the guy who said this?" Tony frowned and pointed in Chase's direction. Mike let out a sigh and turned to Tony, a look of anger spreading across his face. "Don't say another word." "What?" was all that Tony could utter before Mike quickly moved into Chase's direction. "Mr. Rothman," he said. "I hear you are looking for me, sir." Tony's mouth hit the floor and his eyes gazed over. He rubbed them as if to check the accuracy of his vision. Were his eyes deceiving him? Did Mike Reyes, the wealthy owner of City Grill, just refer to Chase Rothman as Sir? Was it possible that Mike had lost his mind as well? Now it was Chase's turn to speak. He addressed Mike directly. "You're the owner of City Grill?" "Yes, sir," Mike replied. Chase slowly turned and gestured toward Tony, who had now crept up behind him to listen more closely to the conversation. "I'd like you to fire this man immediately. I'd also like you to spread the word to your industry friends and colleagues that he's not to be hired anywhere. I want him blacklisted. He's not fit to work in hospitality." "Sir?" Mike began. Chase had put him in a difficult position, and he wasn't sure how to answer. "Mr. Rothman, this isn't an easy task you're giving me."
Please subscribe to the Pocket FM YouTube channel and press the bell icon for instant notification. Check out our channel for more such exciting shows.